My name is Ayca. I'm Turkish. I'm 49 years old and I studied educational sciences in the UB. I graduated in 2017. I have been a corporate trainer in different multinationals since 1999. So 20 years after having professional experience, I decided to do the academic side. And now I'm back in the corporate training sector. I work for Train Technologies, the brand Thermo King, and I'm responsible to build a sales training curriculum for the dealership and the internal salespeople.
My name is Andreas. I'm 34 years old. I'm from Greece and I lived the last 8 years in Brussels. I graduated from the Master Program of Educational Sciences of VUB in 2017. Recently, I'm working as a physical education teacher and as a coordinator of the Department of Physical Education in a secondary international school in Brussels.
So good to see you.
So good to see you.
How are you? Everything good?
Good, good.
Yeah?
How are
Welcome
you?
back to the old campus. Educational sciences is the relationship between policy making and how it is implemented in the classroom.
In the classrooms, in schools.
And we have seen that it's much more complicated than people believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it has so many faculties inside of it as well, like such as psychology, pedagogy, andragogy. You have curriculum development. You have the history of education. And I believe that we learned more than we were anticipating.
Exactly, that's true, that's true.
I was flabbergasted, absolutely.
If you're a person that you truly believe that education can change the world, yes, you should study educational sciences, because if you are working in the field of education, and if you are an educator, if you are a class teacher, you will have an opportunity to learn more about what's happening, you know, in the background of the scenes. And personally, my personal experience that I had as an educator, I was always interested about the classroom, but studying educational sciences, I had the opportunity to learn what's going on in the Ministry of Education, all these decisions that they are making for educational systems, and what is the real impact of education in societies and people's lives.
It doesn't stay in school, it doesn't stay in the university. It is taken with you into the society and the society that you build. And if you have that 360 view of how education impacts an entire country, society, the world even, it is very important to study. So that would be our message as well.
Exactly. So it's...
And it was fun studying with you guys.
Yes.
No, it was
studying
fun.
also in this program. I mean, it was fun. We had a great time. One of the challenges that remained is the equal access to education. There are third world countries that this problem is still active, and it's something that really bothers me. I think all of us. It's when we see that many students, they don't have the same access or the same support to education. I would say that after the pandemic, we realized that we need to master technology more. We need to be aware how we can use all these technological tools. This is the future. So technology is one of the most important things that we need to have in our life and master it as much as we can.
Yeah, and we need help for that as well. Another challenge, I think, I don't know if you would agree, is the gap between the policy making and the actual teaching, you know, the field.
I agree.
Once you lose touch with what's happening on the field, it's very difficult for you to follow a policy that has been made without much knowledge or having forgotten about what it means to be on the field.
And it's true that we, throughout all these years, we keep up having the same old educational models of systems that society changes, but education remains the same, and that causes a lot of problems.
Too many, in my opinion.
Too many. I mean, the planet changes. We have now the climate change. We have all these problems, but Nobody talks about it
No.
in school so much, and
how much it affects the girls as well.
Exactly.
This is another thing we learned in educational sciences. Is we saw that any climate change, like any disaster, may it be flood or fires, wildfires, it affects the girls most. And once we start losing sight of that reaction, I think we are pretty much destined. So that's why one of those challenges we face can be also tackled with this master's program that we did. I believe that as long as we have people who put education first, the world will be a better place. But I'm a realist at the same time. I do see that education is being used sometimes as a weapon. And from that we have to stay away. Education should be a tool. I still believe in that. Having studied educational sciences, I see how much it impacts. But just like the invention of dynamite, you can use it both ways, right?
Exactly, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And that's my perception. I see both.
Well, I would perceive that the war, from a point of view, from the educational, let's say, perspective, I would say that it can be a big school for all of us and learn from the war and change the world according to our needs. And education is the key, is the tool that you need to make that change. So, you know, after studying about educational sciences and all these different aspects of education in our life and the great impact that it can play, I truly realized that education is everywhere.
Yeah.
It cannot be, you know, isolated in an educational institution, but it's everywhere around us. And the world is an open book, and education gives you the pen to write your story and improve the story of that book, you know, make the world a better place through education.
I'll see you outside.
See you outside.
So good to see you. See you in a few minutes.
It was very emotional, I have to say. Not only hadn't I seen him in a long time, but we also talked in the aula where we received our diploma.
It was great that I saw again my friend Ayca, and we had the opportunity to talk together about the program of educational sciences.
We talked about how educational sciences shaped our lives, and also the way we work, the way we see the world.
After finishing the master, I started another master program, and I find myself today that I want to keep up learning more about my field that I'm working, but also about education in general. So this experience really changed my perspective about life and lifelong learning in general.
When you work in education, you don't just think about education. You think about the before and after. And I think that's what the biggest difference is between education and other professions. Because we talked about society, how it affects society and how it affects the entire world, if you think about it. And it never ends. It would be a big mistake to assume that the education ends in the classroom. It doesn't.